Right now, without realizing it, you are living the result of a single decision you made years ago. Not your salary, not your education, not your luck. One choice quietly decided whether money would work for you or you would spend your life working for money. Two people can earn the same income, work the same hours, and still end up in completely different financial worlds. The difference is never hard work. It's the moment one person decides to think long-term while the other keeps surviving short-term. In the next few minutes, you're going to discover the one decision that separates financial stress from financial control. And once you see it, you won't be able to unsee it. This is not about getting rich fast. This is about changing the direction of your financial life forever, starting with a single decision. Most people believe their financial life is controlled by their salary, their boss, or the economy, but that's not true. The real control switch is a decision so quiet that most people never even notice it. It's the decision to keep trading time for money instead of building something that pays you back. From the moment we enter adulthood, we are taught one path: study, get a job, work harder, get promoted, repeat. And without realizing it, we accept that this is how money will always work for us. If we show up, we get paid. If we stop, income stops. That single acceptance shapes decades of financial struggle. The people who change their financial life don't magically earn more at first. They decide something different. They decide that their future income will not depend only on their physical presence. They start asking different questions. Instead of how many hours can I work, they ask, what can I build that continues to pay me? This decision shifts everything. It changes how you see money, time, and effort. Assets don't have to be massive companies or huge investments. They can start as skills, small businesses, digital products, or long-term investments. But mentally, the shift is huge. You stop being only a worker and start thinking like a builder. This is the decision most people delay because it feels uncomfortable and uncertain. But staying where you are is also a decision. And over time, that decision becomes expensive. Once you decide to stop living only on earned income, your entire behavior starts to change automatically. You don't see money as something to spend anymore, you see it as a seed. You become more intentional with your time because you understand that time invested today can create freedom tomorrow. This decision forces you to think long-term in a world addicted to short-term comfort. Most people live month to month. Asset builders live year to year, decade to decade. They understand compounding. One smart decision today might look small, but repeated consistently, it becomes unstoppable. This is why two people with the same income end up with completely different lives. One upgrades lifestyle, the other upgrades leverage. One buys liabilities that create bills, the other buys assets that create options. This decision also gives you psychological freedom. You stop panicking about every expense because you're building something bigger than your next paycheck. Even your failures become lessons instead of dead ends. You start measuring success by progress, not instant results. The moment you decide to build assets, money stops controlling your emotions. You stop chasing motivation and start building systems. And systems, not motivation, are what create wealth. This is why the decision is so powerful. It doesn't just change your bank account. It changes how you think, how you plan, and how you see your future. If this decision is so powerful, why doesn't everyone make it? Because it requires responsibility, patience, and discomfort. Most people are afraid of uncertainty. A paycheck feels safe, even when it barely covers expenses. Society rewards stability, not vision. Schools train us to follow instructions, not create value independently. From childhood, we are taught to avoid mistakes, so risk feels dangerous. But the truth is, avoiding risk is the biggest financial risk of all. Another reason people don't make this decision is social pressure. Friends and family may not understand why you're learning new skills, working after hours, or investing instead of spending. People will call it unrealistic, risky, or unnecessary. What they really mean is unfamiliar. Most people don't fail financially because they tried and failed. They fail because they never tried at all. Comfort becomes a cage. Years pass quickly, and one day people realize they worked hard their entire life but built nothing that could support them. This decision forces you to break patterns. It forces you to say no to short-term pleasure for long-term power. And that's why most people delay it until it's too late. This decision does not mean quitting your job tomorrow or taking reckless risks. In real life, it starts quietly. It starts with learning a skill that increases your value beyond fixed hours. It starts with setting aside money to invest instead of impress. It starts with using free time intentionally instead of escaping into distraction. Real wealth builders don't look rich at the beginning. They look focused. They work when others relax. They study when others scroll. They sacrifice convenience for control. You may start by building a side income, learning online skills, or investing small amounts consistently. The key is consistency, not size. This decision also changes your identity. You stop seeing yourself as someone who depends on opportunities and start becoming someone who creates them. You don't need permission. You don't need validation. You need discipline. Over time, the gap appears. While others remain stuck in the same cycle, you begin to see momentum. Not overnight success, but steady progress. And that progress compounds into confidence, options, and freedom. This is how financial lives actually change. Quietly first, loudly later. The most powerful part of this decision is that you can make it today, not tomorrow, not next year, today. First, decide that your financial future will not depend on one income source. That single commitment already puts you ahead of most people. Second, choose one direction, one skill, one business idea, one investment path. Don't chase everything. Focus creates momentum. Third, commit to reinvesting your time and money consistently, even when results are slow. Especially when results are slow. This is where most people quit, and where winners are made. You must also upgrade your internal dialogue. Stop asking, is this hard? And start asking, is this worth it long term? Stop asking, what if I fail? And start asking, what if I stay the same? Every powerful financial life started with one uncomfortable decision. The decision to think differently. The decision to delay gratification. The decision to build instead of consume. 5 years from now, your life will reflect the decision you make today. Not what you hope for, not what you plan, what you decide. And that decision can change everything. One day you will look back at this moment and realize everything changed here. Not because money suddenly appeared, not because life became easy, but because you finally made a decision. A decision to stop surviving and start building. A decision to stop waiting for permission and start taking responsibility for your future. Time will pass no matter what. The only question is whether it will pass with growth or regret. 5 years from now, you will be in one of two places. Wishing you had started today or grateful that you did. Wealth is not created by luck, talent, or perfect timing. It is created by the courage to decide before you feel ready. If this message hit you, don't let it end as motivation. Let it become action. Choose to build assets. Choose long-term thinking. Choose a future where money works for you, not the other way around. Because your financial life will never change by chance. It will change the moment you decide.